Hey there. So I wanted to broadcast this real quick in the hopes that, it might help someone else or someone else might have experience with this and can share their story as well. But I don't want you falling for this. And I honestly can't believe I almost fell for it last night. So I got a call yesterday from an 844-822-4455 phone number. And I ignored it because I never pick up numbers I don't recognize, especially toll-free ones. But when I listened to the voicemail, it was automated and it said something about speaking my case before something got filed in my jurisdiction. And I didn't really understand what that meant, so I decided to call the number back. I ended up talking to a guy named Phil Thompson with Foster and Monroe. And he said he was calling on behalf of Chase Bank about my Banana Republic card. And honestly, that was kind of like the first red flag for me, because one, I was pretty sure my Banana card had been fully paid and closed off when I opened up a personal loan back in 2011. And then two, I didn't think Chase Bank was the bank that was affiliated with the Banana Republic card. But I continued, listening to what they had to say. And according to him, laws that had changed back in 2005, if you bought merchandise with this card with the intent of not paying it, the company is able to go after you essentially for shoplifting. And I was like, well, I never really intended to not pay it, but, financial hardships being what they are, I made it kind of, it's a stupid financial choice, but it's one I've made and one I need to rectify. But where you just ignore it and you stop paying and, you ignore the creditor calls and the mail that you get and whatever in regards to your credit. But that's a different story. But anyway, long story short, I had a balance of around $2,500 or something like that. And he was like, if they file this lawsuit, on top of the balance that's due, it'd be another almost $2,000 in legal fees, and they would be garnishing my wages, and, and it would be garnished to the tune of like $500 a month, which really freaked me out because I do not have that in my budget. Nor, they did give me options. I could either pay a lump sum of $1,670 and it would be all taken care of, or I could set up a payment plan where like the down payment would be $253 and a monthly payment of $150 something, which again, not really in my budget right now. I've got enough bills that I'm paying. But I honestly really, really freaked out. I did not need these funds being garnished from my wages, and I called my mom. She actually agreed to pay the $1,670 for me. So when I called Phil back to let him know what was going on, I let him know that the funds might not be there tonight, or last night technically, sorry, when they would be due before this jurisdiction was going to be filed. And he was like, do you have anything to put down, something in good faith so that they know, that the rest would be coming. And you guys, I honestly came this close to paying him $600. So, with the hopes or word or whatever that the rest of the balance would be paid on Friday. And while he had me on hold, light bulb kind of went off, and so did the voice of a coach on our team, or my team, Darren Natoni, who had just spoken to us the night before about cybersecurity and not giving out personal information to people. So I decided to Google Foster and Monroe, and Google auto-suggested right after, you type in Foster and Monroe, how the auto-suggest things come down. One of the things it suggested was scam. So let me tell you, I got off the phone pretty quickly, and it's really, really scary how I almost fell for this, and honestly how much information this guy had on me. He was asking about jobs that I had 15 years ago. I can really understand how people fall for this stuff. And my mind is still reeling, that I almost fell for it, like, I can't believe I came so close, that close. You have no idea. Like, I don't really have $600 to give. That's got to go towards my bills and my rent and everything else that I have coming up. So if I had really been out that $600, which I know I would have been, it really kind of would have been devastating for me. So just be warned. I will full on admit my credit's not the best, my financial history's not the best, but I do know enough about it to know what's been paid off and what goes together and what doesn't go together. So if they talk to you about something that's an old debt and it just doesn't sound right, like as threatening and as freaky and everything that the call might sound like, don't give them information. Tell them you have to talk to your lawyer, even if you don't have a lawyer. That's the advice my mom gave me. She's like, next time it happens, say, oh, I have a family attorney that handles all of this, so I'm going to have to talk to him about it. But anything so that you're not giving out your personal information and paying off money that probably doesn't need to pay off. So I really, really hope that this helps someone, and don't fall for it like I almost did. Thank you.